Hello and welcome to another episode of Dented Dreams Garage. So, today, what we're planning to do, I had tried to, I can shut the fans off so that you can hear me on the audio, and I can already feel that it's getting hotter in here. It's a hot day. What I had tried to do, I had watched an old Power Block episode back like 15-20 years ago about trying to, redo and make old parts look good. So I took this old air cleaner and just kind of jacking around, sanded down, painted it, and used a razor blade to go over the tops of the fins to remove the paint. And it actually, it didn't turn out that bad. Matches the color of the car. We were okay with this. It's just an air cleaner. But rather than go spend a bunch of money on a new one, we figured might try to make it look good. So, this is just, natural finish aluminum. Nothing fancy. What we're going to try to do, though, is use our dual voltage Eastwood powder coating system. Now, we've had this for a couple of years. And frankly, I actually really like their system. Dual voltage powder coater. You get the gun, you get the little filter, hook it up with the wire, got your little dead man switch, and you plug it in. Hook it up to your air compressor. Thus far, we've only done really small parts. This will be the biggest part that we've tried to do. And if this works out good, we just replaced our kitchen stove, and the old stove still worked fine. It's just really old, and one of the heating elements is a little iffy. But hell, we got room in the garage, so we figured, hell, might move that out here, might start powder coating that kind of stuff. But let's get this cleaned up. Let's try to get the rest of that paint that I put on there last week off, and we'll go from there. What's the worst that can happen? It's an old air cleaner. For a powder coat of choice, it won't quite be that same green color, but it is some green that I had lying around. They do have an expiration date. So we will actually be using an expired powder coat. This is from Eastwood, Hot Coat Powder Coating Solution, Powder Coating Powder. Average square footage for this bottle, 10 to 20 square feet, per half pound. Heat and UV resistant and statically enhanced. And this is the olive drab, 8 ounces of olive drab. There's the container there. Roll it back and forth. And you can kind of tell that that's olive drab, I think. So, that's what we'll be trying. I guess we'll be checking the expiration dates. See if that's more of a rule or a suggestion. Alright. I got some work to do on the air cleaner to get it ready to powder coat. Not going to be able to record for a little bit though. I got to get these fans back on, or I'm just going to be a heat casualty out here. So, we'll be back in a minute. We got this all cleaned up. We wanted to get it back down to bare metal, and a couple different ways we could have done that. Lacquer thinner, but that green paint was really holding up. Could have tried to sand it, but we had to sand the fins. So we ended up using a Harbor Freight media blaster with walnut, and this thing has not been particularly useful, mostly due to the types of media, so it's not exactly its fault. But I was trying to run the walnut in here. I probably put it in 5 years ago. It didn't work. I used a different faster. So what I did is the nozzle kept filling up. So what I did was I filled up, or I put a double flare on an old piece of junk brake line and a spacer on the inside of here. And I actually got it to work quite a bit better. Probably still a little too much walnuts coming out, but it worked out okay. And now that's done, taking all that paint off here maybe took 7 seconds, I kid you not. So in the next frame, Sam will be with me. We'll start getting the that's going to need edited. We're going to get the powder coating system set up from Eastwood. Been a year or two since we've done it, which I think I said earlier, but I'm sure it'll be fine. Worked out fine last time. Easy to use system. I really like their equipment. I don't think I've ever bought anything from Eastwood that I didn't love and keep forever. So we'll get her set up. You probably can't hear me at all because of the fans, but I'm taking the lower piece of that air cleaner cover, just getting it cleaned up with some lacquer thinner and a rag, get any dirt, grime, anything else off the best we can, because otherwise the powder coating, you could still get bad adhesion, you could get peeling. There's a lot that could go wrong if the surface prep isn't right. So Monte Carlo's holding the fan for me, trying to keep me cool. I'd have those fans off, but man, it is too hot. I tried earlier. It's just too hot today. We'll get this cleaned up. Next frame, we'll probably have these. We're going to suspend them by wires. Get the powder coater all hooked up to them. Get it hooked up to the air compressor and shoot them. Speaking of that, I got to go get the oven turned on. Little toaster oven. So the Eastwood dual voltage powder coating system. We are going to go to high voltage here. We're going to start with the lower. And we've got our wire on there that we need. So that should be pretty much ready. We've got our green loaded into the gun, air compressor hooked up. We had to pick up a slightly larger oven for this part, and that's heating up to 450 degrees. I believe it's going to go for about 30 minutes after we get done coating these two. So I'll get the gun or the camera back on the mount, and then Sam will get to coating these. We had a slight problem on the first time. One, it's really humid, which does not help. But we're going to try to chug along and see if we can get it. I was using a 25 volt or kilovolt setting, which is usually the larger part. I don't know. I mean, like compared to what we used to do, I consider this a larger part. After reading the manual a little bit more, turns out you can actually create a Faraday cage effect on it, is what I was calling it. But anyway, you can actually create a static barrier that repels the powder in one way or another. So we turned it down to 15 kilovolt setting. We're going to retry it on that. Hopefully that works. So we've got it baking now. You can see some imperfections there. It's kind of where we had the clamp, and then trying to get it moved over here gave us some issues. Man, I really got a glare. But the great part about powder coating, we'll just go over it again. Starting with the bottom piece first. We haven't done this in a while, so this is kind of relearning to get it. But the parts that are done actually look pretty good. So we'll get it out here in a few minutes. I had to bake for 20 minutes at 450. And then we'll give it another go. Gonna give it some touch-up spots, toss it back in the oven, and see how she turns out. I don't know if you can try it this way, but we can. Is the wiring here where was it previously coated? Just cut the wire. Alright. We got the second coat going. It's baking right now. It's kind of hard to see if there's a reflection in. And we applied a little bit of heat, and that seemed to help with getting our powder applied. Then we turned down. We had the pressure kind of way too up. I forgot about regulating the pressure. It needs to be about 7 to 10 psi. So this one coated really well. We switched back to a higher voltage, and I mean it is really nice. Where we've got our wire though, It's just messing with us really bad. So what we're gonna have to do is same thing. We'll have to coat it a second time. But other than that, it adhered really well. So we'll bake this for 20 minutes, let it cool down a little bit, put the wire on going the other way. So basically flip this upside down, and that'll actually get us completely set up. So looking good. It's been probably been, what's it been? I don't know, a year since we did this last, year and a half. So we kind of had to relearn this. This was a relearning process. But we're looking pretty good. See how it turns out. Well, the lower part of our air cleaner holder came out pretty good overall. A couple little blemishes here and there. That's the bottom side that you're not gonna see, so not too worried about it. I wanted to use this piece to kind of get us back in the swing of things, so that's not too bad. And we got our top piece cooking now, so 20 more minutes. We'll see what happens. Well, that is our powder coated top and bottom air cleaner. Kind of hard with the shadows and the light to get everything, but looks pretty good. That should last a long time, and it's not quite the green we wanted, but it's not bad. Again, that's using the Eastwood dual voltage powder coating system, and it works good.